So, how do you protect your children when you've lost authority? Seems like a trick question, right? So, this just kind of came to me. I was driving. It was a very perplexing and dizzying idea. But then I started praying about it. Because I thought about it. My kids are steady growing up. The older they get, the more authority I lose. How do I protect them? Well, here's the answer. You teach them about the parent who never loses authority. So here's how it is, right? When your kids are little, they're growing up, they're learning to crawl, they're learning to walk. Guess what? You've already done all of this. You had to do it. You had to learn to crawl. You had to learn to walk. You skinned your knee. You bumped your head. You cut your elbow. You had to learn how to potty train. Hopefully. You learned how to dress yourself. You learned how to hold a fork. You learned how to feed yourself. So, you've experienced all these things. And guess what? That makes you an authority. Right? If you don't know how to do something, what do? You go to someone who has already been through it, and they have authority. Panyo says, hello. If you go with a group of people, okay? Just bear with me. I'm going somewhere with this. You go with a group of people to the lake, and you're all going to jump off a cliff. Okay, well, there's this one lucky person who goes first, right? And after that person jumps and they land safely and they come over to the shore, what does everybody else in the group do? They say, did it hurt? Was the water cold? Were you scared? Did you run and jump, or did you just fall off? How'd you do it? Why? Because they saw with their own eyes that this person had done this. They had experienced it. And therefore, that person now has the authority to tell the next person how to do it. Same thing with our kids. When they're little, we have already done everything that they're doing. Everything. We've experienced it. We've obviously survived it. So we're the authority. And they know that. They know that we're the authority. They know that we've already been through it. So they don't question it. When you say, don't climb on that stool because it's going to tip over, they don't question it. When you say, don't stick your finger in that outlet because it's going to shock you, they don't question it because you have the authority. So, excuse me, what happens, got a little excited there, I got choked. What happens as your kids get older? They think, you know what? They don't have any idea what I'm going through. My parents don't know. And what happens? You start losing your authority, right? See how that works? Your kid only trusts you to be the full authority when you've had all the experience. So this brings me to another thought that I was contemplating while I was driving. That's when I do my best thinking. Why do so many people, so many parents, hide their life experiences from their children? So many people out there lie to their kids. Like, I have seen parents literally try to pretend like they are the perfect example of human being, and they've never done anything wrong. They've never had any experiences. And you know what that does? It causes you to lose authority with your child. When your child doesn't see you as someone who has experienced this before, they're not going to come to you for the answers. So as your child gets older, you have to work harder to show them that you've been through what they're going through. You have to get on a level with them and discuss it with them and be honest. You can't say, oh, I never snuck out. I never got a tattoo. I never went to any parties when I was in high school. Never drank a drop, never smoked a cigarette, and I didn't inhale. All those common laws that parents tell their kids cause you to lose authority. Think about it. When you lose your kids' respect, when you lie to your child, you lose their respect. And when you lose respect, you lose authority. Deep stuff, right? Now, there is one parent who has already experienced everything. There is one parent who has seen every possible scenario, every possible outcome. Yeah, God. You have the Father in heaven who has seen it all. And this is how you keep from losing authority. You teach your children about our Father in heaven so that when they won't listen to you, they'll listen to Him. And then you listen to Him, because you see, we never age out of that. You know, I have got 3 kids. My oldest daughter is 28 years old. She has aged out of my home. But she doesn't age out of me being her parent and always wanting what's best for her and always wanting to help her any way I can. Now, there are things in life now she knows more about than I do. And sometimes I go to her for advice. But sometimes she still comes to me for advice. Your children never age out. And that's the way it is with God. We never age out. He is the ultimate authority always. He's always going to have more experience than us, and He's always going to be the one with the answers. He gave us an instruction manual on how to do life. How simple is that? Of course, you know, a lot of people, men, when they go to put something together, what do? They don't read the instruction manual. They wait until they have a big fat, let me go look into instructions and see what happened. Well, sometimes fixing it takes a lot longer than doing it right the first time. God gave us an instruction manual, and that's what we need to follow. We need to check it first. Let God be your first choice, not your last resort. You don't go to Him when everything fell apart and you couldn't figure out where this part goes and why you have 3 screws left over. Go to Him first. You build it right the first time. Take care of your kids. Teach them about their Father in heaven who has all the answers, who never makes a mistake, and who has experienced everything. Why was it necessary for Jesus to come to earth? So He could walk as a human and experience everything. He gained authority. Don't lose your authority with your kids because you're not honest with them. Don't lose your authority with your kids because you don't teach them about God. How do you take care of your kids once your authority's gone, once they've aged out? You turn them over to God. Teach them to turn to Him. Let God talk to you and through you so that the words you give your children are coming from Him. And that's how you protect your children. See you next time. I have another bright idea.